We are ending 2025 videos with this Gingerbread Gift Buddy. But wait, he has a friend, a girlfriend, and we are going to be making essentially both, but I'm going to make the girl with us together today, and I will tell you what tweaks we're going to be made to make the boy. We're going to make the bow first, and then we will work on the rest of the pattern together. We're going to go through the supplies, and then we will get started. We are going to make our bow first, and I like to use worsted weight yarn and also a D crochet hook. If you don't have a D, you can use a C, you can use a E, anything that can just make your bow a tiny bit smaller. We're going to start out by making a slip knot, and we want to leave an extra long tail. Then we are going to chain 3. We are going to place 3 double crochet into this third chain from the hook. We will start out by yarning over, placing our hook into the top of that third chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. We're going to repeat that. This is our second double crochet, yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook, go through 2 loops, and then yarn over. This is our third double crochet. This hole here is going to get quite big, so just hang on to it. From here, we are going to chain 3. We're going to slip stitch into this hole here, make a slip stitch. And then we are going to chain 3 one more time. From here, we are going to make 3 double crochet into this same hole. Here's double crochet 1. Double crochet 2, and double crochet 3. We're going to make 3 chains one more time. Here's 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll end by making a slip stitch into that same hole. We're going to leave a long tail once again. We'll cut this off, and then I'm just going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling my yarn all the way through. In order to close the bow, you're going to grab your other yarn tail and just pull that really tight. We want to take both yarn tails and wrap them around the middle, but we want them to be in opposite directions in the back. So I'm going to go in one direction with one yarn tail. And then I'll go in the opposite direction for the other yarn tail. Just going to wrap that around about 2 times. We'll meet up in the back and make a double knot. You can kind of fluff up your bow a bit, and then we're going to place that to the side and get working on our gingerbread mini basket. We're going to start out by grabbing our white super bulky yarn and our H hook. We are going to start round 1 by making 6 single crochet into a magic circle, and I will link the way I like to do my magic circle for the bulky yarn down below, or just do whatever you are used to. My only suggestion with this bulky yarn is to place about 3 single crochet and then tighten it up a bit. And then add in your remaining stitches. My yarn always gets caught up after that 4th or 5th stitch, and then it just becomes really hard to close up that middle. So that seems to be working well for me. You can place your stitch marker on the last stitch of the round, or you can place it on the first, whatever you would like. At the end of round 1, we're going to have 6 stitches. For round 2, we are going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. That's 2 single crochet into each stitch. I'm going to get my hook under that first stitch and make single crochet 1, place my hook back under the same stitch, single crochet 2. I'm going to move over and make another single crochet increase. Here's 1. Back to the same stitch. Here's 2. Move over. This is our 3rd single crochet increase. We have a total of 6. Here is our 4th single crochet increase. Here is our 5th. And our 6th and last single crochet increase for this round. At the end of round 2, we have 12 stitches. I'm going to try to tighten this up, but usually it doesn't work so well. Just be careful. If you pull too tight, you can totally snap your yarn. And I know that because I've done it a gazillion times, even though I know not to pull so tight. For round 3, we're going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch and then a single crochet in the next. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Place your hook under the first stitch. We'll make a single crochet increase, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Move over for a single crochet. We're going to repeat the sequence. We have a single crochet increase, move over for a single crochet. Repeat the sequence again. We have a single crochet increase, move over for a single crochet. Here is another single crochet increase, a single crochet. Sorry, I keep getting all these little red bits in here. Then we have another increase, move over a single crochet, and then here is our last sequence of a single crochet increase, ending with a single crochet. For the rest of the pattern, I'm just going to be calling the single crochet increase just an increase. We're going to change our stitch marker. At the end of round 3, we have 18 stitches. For round 4, we're going to make an increase in the first stitch, and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and we'll repeat that sequence all the way around. Here, we're going to start with an increase. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2, so here's single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2. We're going to repeat the sequence, increase, single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here is single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2. And then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2, and 2. We have an increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, 2. Here is an increase, single crochet in each of the next 2, and then our last increase, single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 4, we have 24 stitches. We have one more increase round. So for round 5, we are going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 3, and then we'll repeat that sequence. We have an increase, single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Then we have another increase, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, we have an increase, single crochet in the next 3, increase, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, another increase, single crochet in the next 3, and then our last sequence of an increase, single crochet in the last 3 stitches. From here, we have 30 stitches. Don't forget to change your stitch marker. From round 6 through 10, we are going to single crochet into the next 30. And I will show you, we're going to do round 6 together. I'm just going to show you how I like to mark my stitch, just in case you are not used to counting rounds that well. Here, I'm going to grab a stitch marker and I'm going to place it across my stitch. And then I will continue crocheting and I'll show you how I like to count. Thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. This is officially the last video and pattern of 2025. And I think it's such a cute one. So I'm glad to go out with a gingerbread bang here. I just want to say thank you guys so much this year. You guys leave me the most amazing comments all the time. And they are so sweet. And I write back to every single one. And if I didn't, then somehow I missed it. And I'm sorry, and write me again because I will write you back. I just thank you guys. You are so positive and you make this so fun for me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, at the end of round 6, we still have 30 stitches. I'm going to change my stitch marker and then do a few stitches of round 7. Okay, so from here, you can see you marked round 6, 7, we'll go on to 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll meet back at the end of round 10. The end of round 10, we're going to be doing a color change. If you haven't done that before, just pause 2 stitches or so before, and we'll do the color change together. Here, I'm at the end of round 10, and we're going to do a color change to brown. So I'm going to do another single crochet, and on my last stitch, I'm going to yarn over and pull through, but I'm going to pause when I have those 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to grab my brown yarn. You can either let that hang and you can pull it through, or if you'd like, you can always just make a tiny little knot around your white and pull it down. And that just kind of helps to anchor it a little bit more. So once you have that knot pulled down, get set up with your brown yarn over and pull that through. So your last stitch is white, but you're going to be starting out with your brown yarn. So for round 11 through 15, we are going to be doing a lot more single crochets. You can crochet all the way around in the next 30 stitches, and I'm going to let you guys do this again on your own. You'll know that round 11 starts your brown, so that'll be easy. I'm going to take out this pink stitch marker. So you can start crocheting and counting from round 11 through 15, and then we will meet back at the end of round 15. We're finishing up round 15. At the end of round 15, we still have 30 stitches. I'm going to change my stitch marker. We're going to grab the other stitch marker that we had and place it in our working yarn because we are going to place the eyes, the smile, and then the eyelashes if you are making the girl. We are going to have round 1 facing up. You can have that stitch marker centered in the back. You can grab 14mm safety eyes or something close to that size. We are going to place our eyes between round 12 and 13. We know that the first round of the brown was 11. This is 12 and 13. I'm going to place my needle right in the middle. We are going to leave 4 stitches open. I'm going to place one of my eyes in here, and then I'm just going to count 4 stitches over and place my other eye. If you are making the boy gingerbread, feel free to place the backings on. If you are making the girl, we are going to pause to make some eyelashes. If you're making the boy, you can fast forward a tiny bit to the smile if you'd like. Go ahead and grab a long piece of embroidery floss, or if you want to, take a few strands of black yarn. And you can add them to an embroidery needle, and I just made a knot at the end. To get started on the eyelashes, I'm going to pick a stitch on the inside next to the eye, pull it through until I reach the knot. Then I'm going to go back under that stitch or a stitch nearby, pull it through until I get a loop, and then I'm going to place my needle behind that loop to secure a knot. For the eyelashes, I'm just going to do 2 eyelashes going up. So I'm going to go into that corner bit of the eye, and I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to probably go up about one full round and land in this spot here. That looks good. I'm going to pop my eye out because I want to go back up through that same stitch that I already went into. And I'm going to pop my eye back in just to get a better idea of where to place the eyelash. And I'm just going to kind of go straight up, going up one round. And that looks good. I would usually pull the floss right over to the other side, but I'm going to make a quick knot because I did notice that with this yarn, things can get lost easily. So I'm going to pull that through a stitch and then go through my loop to make just a quick little knot. Now I'm going to go on the other side of the eye. I'm going to do the same exact thing and just try your best to be somewhat symmetrical. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can just do the same step to make the other eyelashes. Once you are done and happy with your eyelashes, we're going to make a knot on the inside. So we're going to pull that through until we have a loop. And then I'm just going to get my little end out here. And then we're going to place our needle behind the loop. I'm going to quickly place the backings on my eye. Just going to do this little back and forth motion until I get down one of those posts, one of those little clicks. Going to place the smile. If you are making the boy gingerbread, you can go ahead and make a knot on the end of your floss, and you can make a knot on the inside of your piece. You need to know how. You can just rewind a little bit at the beginning of the eyelash. We're going to place a smile between round 12 and 13 and 14. So I'm going to find 2 stitches in the middle between my eyes. And I'm going to go up through one of those stitches. I usually like to make a smile like that little small triangle, but for this yarn, I realized that doesn't always work out the best. So what I'm going to do is pull my yarn over into the stitch next to it, and I'm going to leave a bit of a loop on that embroidery floss. And then I'm going to go down around towards the middle of both of those stitches. And then I'm going to go above that little loop and just pull it down. That seems to work the best with this fluffy yarn. Then your smile doesn't get totally lost in that. And now you want to go back down underneath, just very close to where your original stitch was. And there we go. We have a really simple smile. We're going to make a knot on the inside, go through a stitch, make a loop, and then go behind the loop and make a knot. I'm just going to do one more to secure it. Okay, this is how we're looking so far. If you are making the girl gingerbread, grab the bow that you set aside. I like to place it above the eye on a bit of an angle. We are going to be having 2 of the white rounds showing, so don't worry if you go up into one of the white rounds. I'm just going to place this here, and then I'm going to take one end of the yarn tail, place it down one stitch, and then grab the other yarn tail and go down another stitch. We're going to take those 2 yarn ends and make a double knot on the inside of the head. The one thing that I do like to do when I'm all done is just add a few dots of fabric glue to keep that bow really in place, because it does get a little wobbly when it's just double knotted in the inside, and I like to just extra secure it with some fabric glue. Okay, so we're all done so far. We are going to go ahead and continue to crochet. If you're making the boy, we will pause in a few rounds to add the bow to him. We're going to do round 16. We're going to just single crochet all the way around for the next 30 stitches. So I'm already thinking about next year and what are a few things that I'm going to be making. I definitely am going to start out with my fox because I totally left you guys hanging last year with the fox. I never did the pocket fox, and I have the fox desk buddy, and so I'm going to get those out to you guys. And I have a few bunny things already that I'm going to be getting ready for spring. I have a bunny pencil topper and I have a bunny jewelry holder that turned out really cute. I've just been sitting on these patterns and I can't wait to get them out to you guys. So I'm hoping that you like those. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I am at a loss with my pocket friends. I'm trying to think of more ways to do no-sew, but I'm feeling a little stuck at the moment. So if you have any suggestions, I will always jot them down. Sometimes my brain cannot think of a way to get them done, but I always keep all your suggestions. I have them in a notebook, so I always refer back to them when I don't know what to do, and I will try my best to get those out at some point. For round 17, we are going to change to color white. I didn't fully finish my last single crochet. I'm going to grab my white yarn. This time I'm just going to hold it in place and get set up and pull it through. So our last stitch is brown, but our new stitch will be white. I'm going to change my stitch marker. We still have 30 stitches. For round 17, we are going to single crochet all the way around for 30 more stitches. Now, I know that no-sew is so big right now because no one really wants to sew. I mean, I don't want to sew. I've never been a big fan of it, but I do notice that I feel like some of my cuter patterns are the ones that are sewn together because it just gives you so many more options, I believe. So you'll have to let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about sewing? Are you completely over it? Do you not want to do it anymore? Are you okay with a little bit of sewing? Are you okay with more sewing? Just give me an idea of what the sewing factor is for you guys so I know what to concentrate on for next year. The patterns that I do have for you that I'm going to be getting up in the beginning of the year are still all no-sew. So it should be good for the first few months. Okay, we're reaching the end of round 17. We're going to switch back to brown. And at this point, I just realized that I cut my brown yarn off and I should have kept it attached. So I apologize if you cut your brown off. I'm going to pull that last single crochet through and I'm going to pause. And this time I'm just going to do that quick little knot and pull it down. And then I'm going to pull that brown all the way through. I'm going to change my stitch marker. We still have 30 stitches. And then for round 18, we are going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be making a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. If you don't know how to do a decrease, I'll go a little bit slower on the first one. You're going to place your hook underneath the front loop of the first stitch, and then you're going to go underneath the front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. And that is your invisible decrease. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to pause and just snip this off and get it out of my way. We're going to do another decrease. You can go under the front loop of the first stitch, front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. We're going to single crochet in the next 3. Here's another decrease under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Single crochet in the next 3. Here is another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here is another decrease. single crochet in the next 3. And then our last decrease, single crochet in the last 3 stitches. Okay, we are going to change our stitch marker. Then we're going to pause here. So place a stitch marker in your working yarn. We're going to do one thing if you're making the boy and one thing if you're making the girl. So if you are making the boy, you're going to go ahead and take those 2 yarn tails and you're going to place the bow between round 14 and 15. Here we know that the white round is 17, 16, 15, and 14. I like to place my bow right about here, and you can place it higher or lower. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to show you here. I attached my bow. I made the knot on the inside, and then you can also go ahead and add a little bit of fabric glue if you want to keep that bow really attached down. So if you're making the boy, go ahead and do that. If you are making the girl, we are going to make this little colored bobble that almost looks like a little bit of a button. If you don't want to do that, you can just cut a little piece of paper or felt or get a real button and sew that on. But if you want to try this colored bobble, we're going to go back to our D hook that we used for the bow, and we are going to place our hook between round 15 and 16. So here's 17, 16, 15. I'm going to place my hook down underneath my smile, and I'm going to come kind of over closer to the edge of the smile because I'm going to be pulling my bobble over. Go ahead and get that red that we used, the worsted weight yarn for the bow. We're going to go ahead and make a slip knot, and then we're going to place that slip knot onto our hook. I'm just going to tighten this up. I'm going to pull that hook through, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch to attach the yarn. Here's our slip stitch. From here, we're going to do a small bobble, and that's 3 double crochet that we don't finish, and I'm going to talk you through this. We're going to start out by yarning over. We're going to place our hook under that same stitch, the one that we just did the slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over again, go under that same stitch. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Repeat that one more time. Yarn over, go under the same stitch. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. We will have 4 loops remaining. Yarn over and go through all 4 loops. From here, we are going to leave a long tail. We're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling that yarn all the way through. And then I like to give it a tug just to really tighten that up. We want to pull this bobble over so that it almost looks like a button. So you can get your yarn needle, weave that through. And then I'm going to go right up next to my bobble, right into here. And then I'm going to pull that yarn through and then pull really tight just to kind of snug that up in there. Then I'm going to get my other yarn piece down in to the body, and then we are going to make a double knot on the inside of the piece. And that is like our fake little button. You can take out that extra stitch marker, and we're going to get set up. For round 19, we are going to make a decrease and then single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So I will continue with my invisible decrease, go under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. And then we have another decrease, single crochet in the next 2, decrease, single crochet in the next 2, And then I'm going to let you count your decrease, single crochet in the next 2. Okay, we're making our last single crochet. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. At the end of round 19, we have 18 stitches. For round 20, we are going to make a decrease and then move over for a single crochet and repeat that sequence. Here is a decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, and then I'm gonna let you repeat your decrease, single crochet all the way to the end. At the end of round 20, we have 12 stitches. For round 21, we are going to be making 6 decreases. So we will be decreasing all the way around. Here is our first decrease, our second, our third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, our last decrease. At the end of round 21, we're going to have 6 stitches. I'm going to take out my stitch marker. I'm going to leave a long tail because we are going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through. Just going to tighten that up at the end. And then we're going to grab our yarn needle and close this gingerbread guy up here. I'm going to find my stitches. This is my fastened off piece, and I have stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go down that front loop only. This will be my first stitch. Move over to the front loop only of my second. Here is my third, fourth, fifth, go down the front loop only, and here is 6. I'm going to close this up slowly, be careful, and then I'm going to keep my eye on this hole. Just going to try to pull this down, and then just place your needle back through where you think that hole was and pull it all the way up. We're going to weave in your yarn, and we're just going to pull tight. Don't pull too tight. We don't want to break our yarn, but then I'm going to weave this yarn up through my gingerbread. Go ahead and cut off any extra yarn. We are almost done. Now we just have to form our little friend here. What we're going to do is just roll down that top. And I like to roll it down until it hits the bottom. And then we end up rolling our gingerbread down to about round 10. So you'll see about 2 of those white rounds showing on the top. So I just want to really kind of like mold everything. Our bottom would lay flat. And we're just molding here. And I definitely would place some fabric glue on that bow because it's already kind of flailing around a little bit. So that's how we're looking on the inside and the bottom. And then at this point, you can go ahead and just fix everything. You can fix your smile, your eyelashes, your bow, and do all the things that you need to do to beautify your gingerbread. Okay, that's it. She is done. She's ready to be filled. We filled up our friends. They are ready to be gifted, and I think they look amazing. You guys have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you next year.